Joining me now, Saul Weisenberg, former deputy independent counsel, Fox News contributor, and Mike Davis, Article 3 project president and former law clerk to Justice Gorsuch. Saul, what about today? Again, the last day of testimony for one of the primary witnesses for the prosecution. Was a glove really laid on Donald Trump?
No change in the basic facts of the case, and no change in the legal problems that I think Alvin Bragg is going to have. You had three witnesses. You had Pecker finishing up. You had a records custodian who was Trump's former gatekeeper. A Trump organization is paying for her testimony, and she obviously likes him and gave good testimony for him. And then you have a banker that dealt with Michael Cohen. So very, very uneventful. The needle wasn't moved at all.
At one point, it got so absurd, Mike, that the DA's office was objecting to the defense attorney referencing President Trump, President Trump as President Trump, saying that, and it was a tweet just came out, during the cross of Pecker, Trump's defense attorney, Emil Bove, had been repeatedly referring to Trump as President Trump when referencing periods of time when Trump was not in office. The DA's office keeps objecting, and Judge Merchan keeps sustaining those objections. So, okay, convict him of using the wrong title for Trump at that time. This is where we are, Mike.
I mean, that's pretty.
I howled at that one.
That's pretty. I mean, we call President Obama. That's crazy that you wouldn't call a former president the president. That's their title for the rest of their lives. And it just shows you how political this process is. And even though the evidence is completely bogus, the legal allegations are completely bogus, you still have a clearly biased judge, this Juan Merchan, who donated to Biden, donated to another anti-Trump cause. His adult daughter has raised $100 million on this case. He should have recused. He didn't recuse. You have this Soros-funded Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, and you have Matthew Colangelo deployed from the Biden Justice Department, a senior political appointee, and then you have a jury selection process that was rigged. They were asking the potential jurors if they follow Trump on social media, but they didn't ask them if they followed Biden on social media, for example. And you already have a jury pool that's 87% voting for Biden. There's no chance that Trump's going to get a fair trial.
Now, Saul, the thing about this that what I find is very strange is that their star witness, Michael Cohen, who we've yet to hear from, we'll see what he has to say. But from everything we know, it's going to be another goofball testimony. I mean, I don't know him that well. I've had few interactions with him over the years. But how does that, again, show in any way that Trump was doing this to commit a crime? I still don't get how Cohen ever gets you there.
Well, he's somebody who has absolutely no credibility. His former attorney has said he has no credibility. The government in other proceedings has said that he has no credibility. So you start with that. And I've said all along, the basis of the case is very weak. The idea that paying for a catch and kill story could constitute election interference in a way that lifts this misdemeanor into a felony, because that's the other crime you were trying to commit, election interference, is a joke. I mean, compare that to what we know Hillary Clinton did. She gave money to support the false Russia collusion hoax, and then listed their payments for the Steele dossier with the Federal Election Commission, hit it as an attorney's fees. Now that's a real crime. The problem here, Laura, a huge problem, and this actually ties into the Supreme Court argument yesterday. There's no restraint on these tin-pot state prosecutors. You don't have the kind of institutional restraints that you should have with the federal government to keep a former president from being prosecuted on frivolous or political grounds. You don't have that at the state level. And actually, it's something that Justice Barrett mentioned yesterday in the arguments on presidential immunity. No restraint at all here. You remember Bill Barr. You know, he said when he was the Attorney General, hey, not every corrupt act by Jim Comey or anybody else is necessarily a crime. But people like Alvin Bragg have apparently forgotten that.
And Mike, how is it election interference to want to portray yourself in the media more favorably? Which essentially, if you take their facts, that's what they were really trying to do, which is what all these other celebrity figures that they established at trial also did with the National Enquirer.
Yeah, and David Pecker said he's done this for Trump well before 2016, and David Pecker testified that Trump had no knowledge of the payment by Michael Cohen. This case is a dog.
Dead dog doesn't bark. Saul and Mike, have a great weekend.